Howdy everybody, I am Jay Barron with Madtown Designs. We are starting a weekly webcast video, and this is the first episode that we are going to do, and it is titled User Experience 101. We're just going to touch on the power of user experience and why it is important and why you need to implement it into your website. A great user experience is going to transform the quality of your products, your brands, and really your website, and it's really going to help grow it. It's probably the most important aspect of it, so that's why we're making the first video about user experience. The definition of user experience is it's the experience and satisfaction felt when using a website. So, it's going to help make sure that when somebody uses your website, that you have the highest satisfaction possible, and obviously that's going to be easy to use, and everything's going to be geared towards that user that's actually using the website. Obviously, they are the most important aspect of it. So, there's three things that, user experience really does help with. First off, and we touched on a little bit, is it makes sure that your website is easy to use. That's the most important aspect of it. Is the content easy to read? Is the layout easy? Can they find their way around? Making sure that all aspects of the website are easy to use. Next is, does it meet the user's expectations? A great user experience is going to do that, whether that's from the colors, would they expect to see those colors, the layout, are they, clients have, visitors have certain expectations when they come to a website, so a great user experience is going to uncover those and implement them into your website. And lastly, it's going to help you reach your business goals. If your goal is to maybe increase sales by 10%, which could be having somebody fill out a contact form to increase sales, a great user experience is going to remove all obstacles in the way to make sure that when they go to your website, it's easy to get to that end conversion, and it makes logical sense to do so. So we are going to break this video up into three sections. The first one is, what is user experience? So just kind of explain it a little bit more. A lot of people don't know exactly what user experience is, so get more in depth into that. Why user experience is important, why you need to care about it. And lastly, how to create that great user experience. So we'll just kind of touch on some things that we do here and how you can implement some of that into your current website right now. So I will see you on the flip side of this video. So the first part we're going to touch on is user experience and what is it? User experience is how a user feels when they use your website. So are they happy with your website? Are they satisfied? Or when they come to your website, are they frustrated? It's hard to navigate, and can they get the information that they're looking for? Obviously, a powerful user experience, and why it's so important is it can really transform your brand, because your goal and what you focus on is this, making your users happy so they're satisfied, they get the information that they're looking for, and you focus all about your website on the end user itself. So if this is your site, we can kind of break user experience down into three sections. There are more than this, but these are just the three I want to talk about in this video. The first and foremost is the look and feel. Does it reassure the user, or does it repel them away? Do the images, the colors, the typography, the font that you use, does it help the user bond with your brand, or does it push them away so they're going to competitors' websites and things like that? Next is information architecture. Is it easy to achieve the required task on your website? And also, does it make sense? So when somebody comes to your website, is the information laid out in a way that makes sense to the user? Is it in logical order? And then lastly is, interactivity, kind of get into the technology that you use and the delivery method. So, when somebody comes to your website, are you delivering the content at a right time when they need it? And the technology that you're implementing, does it make sense and is what the user would expect? So these three things can kind of explain what user experience is, kind of breaking it down, and next we'll talk about why you need user experience and why it's important. Next we're going to talk about user experience and why it is important. When we go out to maybe go look at a website, there's basic features that we expect to see at each website, but when all things are created equal, we'll choose a website that achieves our desired user experience, or at least has perceives to achieve that user experience. In more concrete terms, a powerful user experience, first and foremost, is it's going to increase conversions, and that's obviously probably the most important. Most redesigns, they're going to see 100% or more increase in conversions by creating a powerful user experience with their website. Secondly, you'll have a higher adoption rate of your website, more users using it, and you're going to have that perceived ease of use. And Apple's big about this. For the iPhone, you can take that as an example. When that first came out, the reason it was so popular is the perceived ease of use gave it a high adoption rate. And the same thing is with your website. The higher adoption rate that you have, the more users that you're going to get. And lastly, a powerful user experience is going to enhance and increase customer satisfaction. And I mean, that's important. You're going to get more referrals, more repeat business, and at the end of the day, you're going to get less calls and less people complaining. So that's a win-win right there. Lastly, we'll get into how to create a great user experience. Creating a great user experience requires the following: focus, user intimacy, process, and alignment. Focus, you need to identify who your target audience is. And versus just saying, well, we target everybody, you really do need to focus. You need to pick out 1 to 2 market segments that you really want to focus to create a great user experience with on your website. When you try to reach out to everybody, you create more of a generic experience. As of when you focus, you can create a great user experience that's targeted and rich with information that targets those users. Next is user intimacy. You need to become one of your users. You need to go to the websites that they frequent, get inside their head, and really learn what drives your users. This way you can build a website that really reaches out to them and what their needs are. Thirdly, you want to process. This is a big one, obviously. You need to do a lot of research ahead of time. That kind of gets into the focus and user intimacy. Research your audience. Research who you want to focus on, learn, become a part of them, learn their expectations and what it's going to take. Then from there, design, create a design that meets these expectations, and then test. A great user experience really is never complete. You're constantly testing, monitoring, and then making changes as necessary. This is really just a constant, you repeat this nonstop: research, design, test, rinse and repeat. Lastly is alignment. You need to make sure that your business goals and objectives align with your customers' needs. So sometimes this is conflicting. You need to make sure that the partnership, whether that's filling out a contact form, signing up for a newsletter, there needs to be a mutual partnership. So if they do take that action, they need to get a benefit from it, not where you get everything and the customer gets nothing. So make sure that there is a mutual benefit there. So now we just kind of went into the what, why, and how to create a great user experience, and I hope this was able to help you.